Howdy howdy, this is Craig Granning back again with an arena cutoff video for Marvel Contest of Champions. Today I cover round 1 results for the Cyclops and Heimdall arenas, then jump into some round 2 predictions. So first, the round 1 results. So once again we've got a pretty low, out of the ordinary 5-star feature arena cutoff at 19.4 million, and I say unexpected low, 19.4 is typically lower than that 25 to 30 million range we typically have seen in the past, but here in the last month or so we've seen it twice, first with Dr. Octopus and then now here with Cyclops. Now we can't say it's the new norm though, because it's squeezed in between there for an old future champ. We saw Mephisto come at 27 million, which is closer to that expected 25 to 30 million range. So it's kind of really hard to say exactly what's driving this, but it appears like from time to time we'll get that low drop down just under 20 million that we saw like for Dr. Octopus and now for Cyclops. Now with the 4-star feature, it kind of came in and going, it's on the lower end at 4.9 million, but still within that, real close to 5 million. 5.5, 5.6 is kind of the expected norm, so 4.9 is on the lower side for sure, similar to what we saw in the 5-star feature, but not such a big dramatic drop. Probably if we look at percentages, definitely the 5-star feature arena had a percentage drop more significantly larger than the 4-star feature, but in both cases there was a drop from the norm. Now with the 4-star basic arena though, with a mid-interest, this is kind of what we've seen most recently, like with Red Skull and with Wasp. And I think it's a better comparison with Wasp because there's a champ with some relevancy compared to like Red Skull, although Red Skull from a importance in the MCU and interest definitely up there, but from a champ in the game not so much. But anyway, with the 4-star basic, that 2.36 million is what we expected to see really when it comes to a mid-interest champ. So kind of as I already hinted to how my predictions would play out, that 27 million that I was expecting is the norm. Not so much here as we had that lower number again, but that 5.4 and 2.3 since the other features, even though that 4.9 was a little bit lower than the expected norm, it's still within that 10% range when you do the rounding, so it's still a decent prediction, which since I try to get within 5 to 10%, and that 2.3 prediction was spot on. So pretty decent predictions for sure. So that's definitely what I'm trying to get. Not so much with the 5-star feature, but again, like I was saying, it's really hard to tell. There was no big indicator similar to the Dr. Octopus arenas to kind of hint that we'd see that big drop like we did for those 2 arenas, but everybody else is in that 25 to 30 million range. So I'll be continuing to look for those indicators to kind of get that, but at this point it's not really easy to tell so far. But now that we've got the round 1 results, let's take a look at some trend analysis for some round 2 predictions. Starting first with the 5-star feature, I've been talking about the Dr. Octopus and Mephisto recent results, and you can see with Dr. Octopus for that 17 million, there was a big jump in the second round. Not a big jump, but there was an increase, 4 million from 17 to 21 million. And Mephisto, even though it came in at 27, also saw a similar 4 million increase between round 1 and round 2, going to 31 million. So it seems like pretty much the standard is a 4 to 5 million point increase between round 1 and round 2 for a 5-star feature old champs. Now when it comes to the 4-star feature, not the 5-star, but the 4-star feature, what's interesting, Dr. Octopus kind of had a similar unexpected lower number compared to Mephisto, who had 5.5. Dr. Octopus had 4.8, which is much closer to that 4.9 of Cyclops. But in the second round, Dr. Octopus jumped all the way to 5.6 million. Now for Mephisto, he didn't have much in an increase, but not as big as an increase, I should say. Did have an increase, but to 5.7. So it seems to be that second round for those old 4-star feature champs always to be within 5.6, 5.7, regardless of what that first round cutoff would be, at least with some of the more recent results. And then with Heimdall, when we take a look at the 4-star basic arena, what's interesting is regardless of what the first round results are, that second round results always seems to drop from 1 million. No matter if Massacre, which was on the higher end of a mid-interest at that 2.9, and again, I categorize mid-interest from 2 million to 3 million, so Massacre still felt in that mid-interest, but he was at 2.9, he dropped to 2.8. Wasp was at 2.3, dropped to 2.2 in the second round, and Red Skull was at 2.3, then dropped to 2.2. So keeping with these norms, it seems always seems to be a 100,000 point drop between round 1 and round 2. So something definitely to consider for the second round of Heimdall. And the last is the 3-star feature. Regardless, I mean, even though these peaks seem to be pretty significant, If you look at the actual absolute numbers, we're talking of tens of thousands, so it's not a very big jump between round one and round two. They're marginally the same, really. So considering all these trends, here are my thoughts for the round two predictions for the Cyclops and Heimdall arenas. Starting first with the 5-star feature, I think we're going to see that, that roughly 4 or 5 million increase from round one. So we're going to be talking around 24 million for the cutoff. I think you're going to see that, that 5.6, 5.7 range for the 4-star feature with Cyclops. So we'll just say 5.7. And then with Heimdall, even though we did see a slight decrease between round one and round two for three similar past champs, three similar past arenas, I do think in this case there was a lot of folks in the community kind of surprised that it'd be so low at 2.3. So I think it's going to be very similar. And it was almost, if you rounded up this past for round one, it was basically 2.4. So we're going to see the numbers. It can be anywhere from 2.3 to 2.4. Again, similar to what I was talking about for Cyclops. We're rounded up here, so we'll say 2.4 million for the second round cutoff. And then for the 3-star feature arena, we're going to look at 670,000. Now, what I always like to do is kind of give a grind target, since those are the predictions, and I'm trying to be within 5 to 10%. There could always be the unaccepted jump, so you always want to give yourself a little bit buffer from that cutoff. So I'd say go to 27 million for the 5-star feature Cyclops if you want to give yourself a better chance of getting them. 6 million for that 4-star feature Cyclops, and 2.6 million for the 4-star basic Heimdall, and lastly 700,000 for the 3-star feature Cyclops. And again, these grind targets as well as predictions are for the veterans bracket, meaning your account's been open for over 60 days. When it comes to the newer brackets, the beginner bracket and intermediate bracket, I just don't have a ton of data. There's no couple sources across the community where people are storing these. I just occasionally from time to time get folks that are playing with newer accounts telling me kind of what they saw when they were doing some arena grinding. So not a ton of data, so these are just very rough ballpark estimates. But anyway, with the 3-star feature in the beginners bracket, we're looking at 245,000. For the 4-star basic Heimdall, we're looking at 1.1 million. For the 4-star feature Cyclops, we're looking at 1 million. Again, these are for the beginners bracket, meaning you got a new account up to 30 days. Intermediate bracket, 31 to 60 days. You're looking at the 3-star feature Cyclops around 525. Heimdall 4-star basic at 1.4 million. And lastly, the 4-star feature Cyclops at 1 million. So anyway, these are my thoughts for the second round of the Cyclops and Heimdall arenas. Would love to hear your thoughts. If you have any questions, especially if you disagree, kind of where I think these are going to fall, love to hear about it. Throw it on down in the comment section. We can discuss them there. Other than that, if you like this video, really appreciate it if you click that thumbs up button. And if you like this and other videos I have on the channel, we'd really appreciate it if you subscribe. Thanks a lot for stopping by, and have a great day.